Good evening, everybody. Only 1 week left till we're starting our swim practices next Monday, April 26th. So I thought it would be a good idea if we went over what equipment swimmers need to be bringing to swim practice next week. First and foremost, when swimmers come to swim practice, they need to be wearing their swimsuit. They can have clothes over their swimsuit, but they need to be wearing a swimsuit to the pool. They don't have access to the locker rooms to change at our pool right now. So boys could be wearing a Speedo style swimsuit, like a brief suit or a jammer. I'm gonna highly discourage any boys from wearing anything that resembles board shorts or like a pair of shorts when they're swimming. It's very hard to teach somebody to do proper technique if they're pulling a lot of extra weight with like shorts or a swim shirt or something like that. Ladies, the most important thing on the suit is that it's snug enough so that the shoulder straps aren't falling down the side. A lot of times when the newer swimmers come to practice and they're wearing like their for fun swimsuit that they'd wear around in a pool or just splashing around, if it's kind of loose fitting, it makes it really hard to practice proper technique if you're constantly pulling it up. So it should fit relatively snug. Along with the swimsuit, something else a lot of our swimmers, but not all, will be needing is a swim cap. So generally speaking, if your hair is long enough so that it would go down into your eyes, if it was really wet, you need to wear a swim cap to practice. You can wear it to the pool, have it ready, or if you can put it on by yourself, you can have that. You just carry it in your bag and put it on when you get there. But swimmers do need to be able to put on their own cap. And again, anybody, if your hair's wet and it comes down into your eyes or it gets across your face, it's gonna mess up with your technique. If you're constantly pushing it out manually, it's gonna be hard for somebody to do that and concentrate on doing proper technique at the same time. All swimmers are gonna need some goggles. What brand is best? Well, it kind of depends. All brands fit differently. I've always been a fan of Speedo goggles and Tier goggles. Some people probably have some other brands they like. A lot of swimmers will put on these bungee straps because it makes it quicker to adjust, to tighten up for diving or loosen if it's just a lot of laps, but that's not a requirement. I highly recommend getting your goggles at a legit sports store that has a wide variety and maybe even a place where you can try them on. Keep in mind that the coaches are gonna be coaching a lot of kids at a time. We don't really have time to adjust everybody's goggles. So that's something you really wanna do at home ahead of time is practice putting them on and off. Go down in the bathtub or the shower. If a little bit of water is leaking in there, you need to make some adjustments so that doesn't happen. If a little bit comes in the shower, it's gonna be like a deluge during your swim practice. Okay, so we got a swimsuit, swim cap, and goggles. Now we're gonna go over some of the other equipment that your swimmer is going to need to participate in the swim team. All swimmers are going to need a kickboard. I recommend just buying an adult-size kickboard, even for the young kids, a full-size kickboard. That way they can grow into it. So every swimmer on the team is gonna need to bring a kickboard to the pool every day. Now, if you're in the splash pool, the kickboard is the only equipment that you have to be bringing along with your suit, cap, towel, goggles. But for any swimmer that's swimming in the lap pool for practice, they're also gonna need to bring a pair of swimming fins. Swim fins come in a variety of colors. We ask the kids to get the soft, flexible rubber fins that are a little bit longer. It helps us do a lot of different drills, kicking exercises, things like that. Be careful of the fins. You really want to try them on. If they're a little bit loose in the store, as soon as your foot gets wet and you start kicking fast in the water, it's gonna slip right off and get pretty frustrating. They should fit relatively snugly in the store, especially when your foot is dry. If your swimmer is in practice 1, 2, or 3 in the lap pool, there's several other pieces of equipment they need to bring to practice every day too. And that is a pull buoy and swimming paddles. A pull buoy looks something like this, a wide variety of colors and slightly different shapes. My favorite ones are the ones made by Tier, T-Y-R. They're the same size in the front and the back. Speedo makes some. I just don't find those ones quite as comfortable because the one side's really a lot larger than the other side. But whatever you already have is totally acceptable. But if you're in practice 1, 2, or 3, you will need a pull buoy. Along with the pull buoy, you're also gonna need some hand paddles. There's a few different makes and models that are all acceptable. A lot of the kids on the team get the Fini paddles. They're really easy to put on. They don't have any straps. We also have a lot of kids get the tier paddle. It's tier Catalyst 1 or Catalyst 2. You just got to be careful that you don't get those too large for your hand. It makes it really hard to pull. Speedo also makes some paddles, and there's a few other brands as well that are very acceptable for use on our team. One thing you will notice is when you buy your paddles, if you buy the ones with rubber straps, it comes with a lot of straps. We only have our swimmers put one strap on each paddle. The reason we only use one strap is we only want to strap the middle finger or the two middle fingers together on the paddle. It helps learn the technique better by having limited straps on the paddle. So if you come with it all strapped up, we'll probably pull some off for you. For many of the people on our swim team, they already have all of that equipment, so this isn't anything new to you. But for new families, I know that could seem a little bit overwhelming, seeing all the things that will be required for swim practices. I'll put all of this in an email too, just to help clarify things. And I wanted you to be aware there's a new swim shop in Walnut Creek, super helpful. I went there this Saturday. And if your swimmer needs any swimsuits, goggles, caps, any equipment, they will give you 20% off every item in their store, as long as when you go in, you say you're with the Martinez Community Swim Team or MCST. And so we're really excited to be working with them. They will help you fit paddles and fins and suits, and make sure when you walk out of the store you have everything that you need and it fits correctly for your first few days on swim team. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to me, keelankirshen@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to get back to you and answer any questions that I can. Looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Willing that there's no major pool repairs that still are outstanding. There's a couple things that still need to get done, and I don't think the parts are there yet. Like the heaters are all brand new, but there's something wrong with the pump, and there's some part that has to come from somewhere, and hopefully it's not stuck in the Suez Canal. I don't know. Is that old? Is that old news? I'm not sure.